Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spill the Tea. Lou, I do apologise that we are late, but I have managed to open 12 tabs of things that me and Ash are going to talk about today. It took me a little while because, as you know, my technical skills are not very good and I couldn't do more than one thing at a time. So I have all the tabs open. Ash has no idea what we're going to talk about as per usual because I do like to surprise him as much as I like to surprise you guys. So thank you very much for waiting patiently. Thank you very much for getting stuck in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. And always, thank you very much to Ash for tolerating me on these Friday nights when I have had enough of the week. I want to talk about everything, get it all off my chest, and he has to fight his way into the conversation to get a word in. So, how are you, Ash? We're colour coordinated today.
Here we are. Well, it's just black. It is a bit depressing. I'm okay, to be fair. I think it was Newcastle hasn't had the best time in the recent recent state of football, to be honest. Been so many rumours about our players. Everyone's going, apparently, according to the media.
Oh, they're all leaving.
Apparently,
going everywhere.
According to the media, we're going to have no players left. It's going to be Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall up front. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that's going, but... Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Gab has a label for us. Black Friday, that's us. Me and Ash, Black Friday in February instead of November. Hey, we're going early this year.
I was going to say, you say that, but I bet in like 10 years' time, Black Friday is going to be starting now because every single year it gets earlier and earlier.
It was Black Friday, then it's Black Friday week. Now it's Black Friday month. And don't forget Cyber Monday. I mean, honestly, nobody should be allowed. Honestly, just retail. Let's not talk about retail, actually. Let's go away from that. But Ash, I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat because, oh my goodness, everybody has been on fire in the chat. You have all been repping, loving life. So I'm going to say hi to everybody. And then we are, in fact, going to speak about your team. Sorry about that. You're in some of these. So Guess is here with our cup of tea. Nathan is in the house. Lumen is in the house with his like button smashed. Velocity is in the house saying evening. Streets is here. So he's definitely going to be in time for the predictions later on this evening. Wills is saying, damn Lou, this is the deepest poll question I've seen. Going to need a few minutes to contemplate and reflect. And for those people who maybe jumped right into the chat, smashed the like button and didn't actually see the poll on their way in, it says, is the manager of the month curse real? Yes, Maresca and Amarim, obviously. No such thing. Or I need to ask Pogba's brother because he loves an old curse. And I love an old joke. Poor Pogba. Streets is saying all smiles on this beautiful Friday. And Wills is saying, yeah, for now. What else? So Gav obviously is in the house if he's leaving comments. Flossie, Wills. Did I say Wills was here? Wills is here. Because everybody's chatting. I don't know who I've got. Roddy's in the house. Welcome, Roddy. Roddy modded with me on another channel. I haven't seen him in a long time. And he found me on Kate and Jimbo. So, back together again. Guess was wondering, is it the cats or the gremlins causing the delay? No, this time it was fully me. It was fully 100% me. Will's bet was on the Pixies. Well, to be fair, in Ireland, we've all sorts of magical creatures. But yeah, so everybody then saw us go live, which is good because they can see and hear us, Ash. That's good. I normally check that when I'm on my own to make sure they can. Kavos, first time joining live. Welcome to the live, friend. I hope you're ready for the madness. Lovely to have you in the house with us. Nathan is straight in on you, Ash. Recent is an overstatement. I mean, Newcastle have been bad this whole season. I mean, straight in there. Jay is here. Good evening, Jay. Who else is here? But Dave boy. Dave is back from the pirating. He's looted everybody and he's back to us with all his grog. What? Who else? Everybody's just in hi to everybody because we're just such a friendly bunch in here. Dave Boy is joining in. Ash, I feel like you might be for it tonight.
Yeah, I think so too.
Ash has been hiding since Anfield. Well, I'll tell you what. He's turned up tonight and not dressed as the Irish flag. which I'm devastated about. I think we should pause the show and make him go change into a green t-shirt because this is disgraceful. Carry on.
I did actually say that Liverpool would win that game, by the way.
Ash, let's not talk about whose predictions were right and whose predictions were wrong. Little old thing like that. Don't worry about it. Kavos, are you in Ireland? The weather has been absolutely bloody appalling. We are flooded everywhere. All the roads, all the seas. For a country that's an island where it rains all the time, we are not in any way, shape, or form prepared for high volumes of rain. Everywhere is flooded. I mean, like dangerously flooded. They've closed some of the schools. The roads are closed. Everywhere is flooded. Ash, actually, do you remember the last time it flooded here? I sent you the video of where that. Yeah, it's worse. They literally closed that street this time because we're like, oh yeah. So Kavos is in Dublin. Yeah. So the Lewis all shut down. I saw I don't know, after this, if you have it on Facebook or whatever, it's called dublinlive.ie, but it's a Facebook page, and it'll show you the tram tracks are literally flooded to the point where the tram can't go on them because obviously trams are electric and everybody would get. I mean, it looks like it's a river. It's not. It's the dip for the tram tracks. Absolutely insane. Flossie is saying, here in Newcastle, we are on day 15 of rain. Well, Flossie, you and us both, we're probably about 2 weeks into this appallingness. Speaking of appallingness, which is not a word, Ash, what do you think I might want to talk about when I'm saying the word appalling? What springs to mind when I say appalling? What do you think?
Sunderland. That's what springs to my mind.
Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking about Sunderland, here's a nugget. I was going to say this.
I shouldn't have said this because I've got a fit.
No. This is a bad one for Sunderland. Speaking of Sunderland, Granit Xhaka is due to miss 3 more weeks. So that was from the 30th. Yeah. So he's already missed the first one. So Granit Xhaka has 2 more weeks out. And as we have now seen, Sunderland are incapable of playing football without Granit Xhaka. So that'll cheer you up, Ash, right before we bring you back down to earth with a bang. So as you can see on my screen, Newcastle have not made it to the Carabao Cup final. Would you care to talk me through the match and what happened, Ash? Because honestly, I'm not sure I have words.
So, for the PSG game against, obviously against in the Champions League, the last game, Bruno Guimaraes didn't play. He was on the bench, and everyone thought Eddie Howe was resting him for this game. Mm-hmm. What happened? He did not play. And what do we have without Bruno Guimaraes? We can't win, apparently. So that was already going to be a problem. And when this lineup came out, I, along with every other person, was very, very skeptical. Jacob Ramsey's been greatly improving, to be honest. I knew he was going to. He's a great footballer. Kieran Trippier, I have said this for so many times that this season, he just needs to, unfortunately, move on. He's 35 years old, and my God, he does not have any sort of pace in his legs. Lewis Hall did look good, to be fair, again in the game. Again, he's probably one of our best players that we've got. We had a lot of issues going forward, as Streets is saying there.
You might be alluding to that in the chat.
We're definitely having some issues going forward, to be honest. The lineup puzzled me a little bit, to be honest. I don't like this Joe Willock playing as sort of the right winger / number 10, that he takes the ball from there and then goes out to the right. Not a fan of that. I don't know why we didn't even play the likes of Harvey Barnes and stuff at the start. He ended up coming on. It was. Which has been your best signing this season for me, Voltemada? Right, so Voltemada.
Wait. Now you're about to answer this question, but I want to provide. This is great because I didn't know the chat were going to do. This is wonderful, Ash. I have something else I'd like to share with you related to Nathan's question. So obviously Nathan mentions Voltemada, who was a roaring success when Wissa was injured. However, Ash, what's this? What happened to Volta Messi? Has he dropped the Messi part of his name?
So it's been interesting because since Wissa's come back, being back in, I think Eddie Howe's tried to do a few different experiments of having him and Wissa play in. They're having Voltemada, like Wissa start and Voltemada come on later on in the game for quite a lot of the matches. I think he just needs some consistency. I think he's also lacking a bit of some clinical. I'm trying to think of the word clinicalism.
Clinicism. Clinicism? That sounds right.
But the thing is, we need we need Gordon and Barnes and whoever we have on the wing to provide better balls for him. And the issue is we've not been getting that for a little while. Joe Willock in a game like this is never going to be that person. Gordon has been looking a bit better, but still is lacking. So I just think we're us in a bit. This is the issue that we're having. We've got a massive problem with going forward and getting the balls and actually creating clear-cut edge chances. And this is exactly the problem that I've said that we had during the transfer window. And I was hoping we were actually going to tackle this, but we didn't sign anyone in the transfer window. Not even a free...
either did we.
We didn't even get a free agent. Like, I mean, at least you've got a new manager. That is just like...
Yeah, but we also got our left winger injured. Dorgu is now out, okay?
Yeah.
If Shaw... Crystal made of glass Shaw gets injured on the left with nobody except Malacia, who doesn't count because he can't play football. So we've nobody. So I feel your pain there. But 12 appearances with 0 goals, goals in all competitions is not... Look at the poor man's body language. He's over the moon. He's actually got paler from the stress of it all. I mean, so is Voltemada obvious? And also, who would be next after Voltemada if he is obvious?
Yeah. So for me, I wouldn't actually probably say Voltemada is our number one signing. I would have actually said it.
I love a bit of surprise.
Well, I actually would have said it's Malik Chow, and I don't think that's actually a surprise within our fan base at all. Malik Chow's been by far the best performing defender. I would even argue he's been one of the best in the whole league, to be honest. It was why when we've had an amazing Champions League defense. It's why we started the season off with the best defense in the Premier League. But the problem is we've just been so inconsistent with our defenders. Everyone's been injured, but Malik Chow, he's the only one who hasn't actually. So
she'll hear you.
Yeah, but Malik Chow, for me personally, has been our linchpin, to be honest, in the whole team. He's kept the defense going even when it's been struggling. But apart from that, obviously, I would say Voltemada's after that, and then to be honest, I'd probably say Jacob Ramsey's after Voltemada, because Jacob Ramsey he's looking better and better every week. He's becoming the player that we're hoping to get.
Now, I just want to answer Kavos, because obviously Kavos is new to the chat, so he doesn't understand the mayhem that is a Friday night on this show. Kavos, don't you worry. We're starting with Newcastle, but we're going to talk about... Do you know what? I'll give you a quick preview. I don't normally do this. I normally just leave everyone in suspense. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to talk about today. Everything. So obviously we're going to finish talking about the Carabao Cup. We're going to do a little prediction for the final, but we don't really care because they're both just horrible teams. Obviously, we're just talking about Voltemada there. We are going to talk about Manchester City. We're going to talk about Rodri's comments. We're going to talk about Guehi being ineligible. We're going to talk about Pep's comments. We're going to talk about Arnie's slot. We're going to talk about what he said about not winning trophies and just playing good football. We're going to talk about Ekitike. We're going to talk about the clash in the dressing room that's going on. We're going to talk about Garnacho. We're going to talk about Rosenio. We're going to talk about Romero. We're going to talk about Manchester United, Michael Carrick. I have some good stats. Kane and Jimbo give me some very sad stats about Manchester United and Spurs. So I went and I found my own stats. And we're going to talk about those. So don't you worry, Kavos. What I'm doing right now is I'm saving the best for last. And what we're going to do is talk about at the end how United are going to beat Spurs. Because at the end, we're going to do our match predictions for the next Premier League round. And you are going to be involved and we're going to outvote them all. So, isn't that right, Ash? Does that sound exciting? Does that sound like something we're going to finish in less than 3 hours?
Depends how fast you want to get through the topics.
Oh, dear. Gav did vote for the water meter as the best, but I think Chow is a really, really good one. Flossie's comment, I've lost it. But Dave Boy is on a roll tonight. He's back with a bang tonight as Dave Boy, and he's going to get himself in trouble. He felt sorry for Newcastle and Chelsea. Chelsea never seemed to get the tiny clubs in the finals. So I believe he's implying that Newcastle are a tiny club. He's feeling brave. He's feeling bold. What is Lumen is saying? Newcastle need Luis Enrique more than Man United need him. We are content with our Michael Carrick. And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree with Lumen. I would rather keep Michael Carrick than get Luis Enrique in. What are your thoughts? If Eddie Howe, so obviously Eddie Howe now is slightly under more pressure than he had been under previously. If a mad thing happened and he was let go, let's just imagine. I know it's unlikely, but let's just imagine. What would you reckon to Luis Enrique?
I mean, he's definitely an amazing manager. I would if Eddie Howe, in a scenario that Eddie Howe was definitely leaving, then obviously if we were going for that sort of ilk of manager, I would actually be very happy because it shows kind of the intent of what our ownership wants. Because I feel like someone of the level of Luis Enrique is one of the elite managers, especially in current world football. So yeah, I would be happy with that. Granted, we did play him not that long ago, and I think Eddie Howe actually had a better setup and everything than what he did. So yeah, but look again, if Eddie Howe somehow ended up going, which, like I said, there's been so much drama within Newcastle and the fan base and the journalists and everything. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to having Luis Enrique at all. I don't think that would be a bad signing.
Fair. Streets is saying Shaw looks the fittest he's ever looked. Of course he does. He wants to play in the World Cup, the big melon. Dave Boy, hoping for the first win over Spuds since 2022. Dave Boy, I have seen Kate is in the chat, so you just be very careful or you'll have Flossie and Kate after you. Flossie is hitting back at Dave Boy's comments by saying, come on, you Spurs. So I'm telling you, it is this. Do you know what? I actually think this game week's going to be really good. There's some really competitive, hard to call matches. Gav is saying Mason has been mentored by St. John's Ambulance Brigade again, because actually he is even more fragile than Luke Shaw. He can't even get it together for an international tournament.
Honestly, Mason Mount is one of those players that I had so much hope for throughout his entire career. I think he's looked unbelievable how he did throughout the whole time at Chelsea. He's just one of those players that I'm like, he has so much potential, but he just can't seem to get the fitness or be able to fulfill it, especially at this age now. So
yeah,
it's
100%. Just like the rest of the players that come to United. Anthony Martial, incredibly talented player, couldn't stay fit. Luke Shaw, this has to be a record season for him in the last 8 years because he's never started so many matches and stayed fit for so long. So yeah, I'm assuming Wills is talking about Voltamata here. It's still early and it happens. Hopefully he's not a purple patch player and gets it back on track. Flossie is saying about Chow, he's been brilliant.
To do just quickly on that purple patch, I will say, if you watch Voltamata recently, I completely agree with this comment because he is lacking a bit of confidence. When, as Mama Flossie will say as well, when he was in his scoring era and stuff, he was scoring for Germany, scoring for us. He was playing with a lot more confidence. Like he was doing so many back heels. He was doing Trivellas. He was flipping, spinning around like everyone, taking on like 3 players. Now he doesn't really look the same, but he is 23 years old, and all it's going to do is for him to get a bit of confidence. There's so much talk around Newcastle, talk about other things that I'm sure has probably not really helped him, especially with him not having a proper run of form with Wissa coming back into the squad. So yeah, I'm sure he'll get back on track at some point.
Yeah, I reckon he will too, to be honest with you. Lewin is saying that Malik Chow is the new Virgil van Dijk. I would suggest Virgil wasn't as good as everybody thought he was, to be fair. You know, he gets put in the same conversation as our Rio and Village, and I just think that's a pile of nonsense. So,
God, he really has it.
He's got a fall from grace, hasn't he?
this season, like there's been so many moments, like the one where the ball came down and he was like, "Oh, I couldn't judge it from the wind or whatever." You're like, "What are you talking about?"
That's the kind of thing Hamza would say.
And the thing is, like, yeah, okay, you might not have judged it from where the wind where it's going to land, but then you just stood there and watched where it went. It was like you didn't do anything. He's being struggling.
The one that went in off his backside, he's having a bad out season. But so yeah, Chow could be better than Virgil. That could be what's happening.
I hope so.
Dave Boy is cruising. Instead of come on you Spurs, he reckons Mama was saying, come on you Sunderland. And he would like to know if Flossie is feeling okay. The banter is wild in the chat tonight. Kate is in the house. Lovely Kate. She's here to hear my stats. That or she's ready for another pep rundown. I don't know if you saw Ash the other day, but Kate was on and we did a deep dive into Pep Guardiola. And let me tell you now, he's out of there at the end of this season. 100%. And then 2 days later, I saw it in the Times. Telling you, they're all in here.
I mean, yeah. There's definitely there's definitely movement behind that. I mean, for how long he's been there, 10 years.
Yeah.
I think everyone's surprised he's still there, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Let me see. What else? Dave Boy is saying, we owe Spuds big time. We do. That much we definitely do. Roddy is finding a foothold in the mayhem. Everybody, of course, saying hi to Kate. Wills is on to Lumen for being naughty when he agreed to be good. Nathan says, Ash, in the Man City match, just to accommodate Voltemada, you guys played 3-4-2-1 and he dropped a stinker. So why not play 4-3-3, but with Gordon, Alanga and Barnes? Are you afraid to bench Voltemada like Liverpool? No, Nathan is bringing it.
Well, no. The fair comments, but I think it's completely wrong. If like you've been looking how we've been setting up recently, so typically Eddie Howe does set up in a 4-3-3. Like we have four at the back where we like our preferred formation is Tino, Botman, Chow, Hall. That's our back, and then we normally have Bruno Gomes, Sandro Tonali, and Joe Linton, and then up front we would either have Wissa or Voltemada, and then it would be Gordon or Barnes on the left, and then Alanga or Murphy on the right. That's sort of how we normally set up. And then again, Joe Linton and Ramsey can be like rotated about who's doing well and in form. We've been having a problem. So to do with, are we afraid of benching Voltemada? Voltemada's been benched quite a lot recently, actually. Wiss has been actually the starting number 9 over the recent games.
I think that was the start of the problem, being honest, was benching him.
No, I agree. That's where I'm at as well. Like if you look at his minutes over since the start of January, he's not played a single 90 minutes. Like a lot of them have been coming off on the bench, apart from I think one game he started, or two games he started. I mean, he started the Man City one, but he came off at half time. But it's I think that's been the problem is since Wiss has got fit, it's actually shown the downturn in form of Voltemada.
See, I think that can be a bad thing with a manager, because it was something that Amram did. We talked about it before, where we had Mbeumo and Ahmed working well together, and then the next thing he splits them up. And I'm like, what are you doing? If it's working, why are you changing it? And so I think it's the same idea where Eddie Howe, he had Voltemada, it was working. I understand Wissa was bought in as the primary striker, but sometimes things happen and you have to roll with it instead of being stuck to what we were planning in the first place. Okay, well, this is what happened and it's working. So I think Eddie Howe maybe handled that badly, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there's definitely legs in that. Like, of course, with us being in so many competitions, there've got to be some rotation. Like there was that game where we played against Bournemouth and we went to extra time, and Voltemada played the whole 120 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
So of course he had to get rested for the game after that. But you definitely want Voltemada to be, for me, our number 9 because he's just unbelievable in front of goal. Like, and his hold up play is actually amazing. Like is one of the best that I've seen in a very long time for someone at Newcastle. He's a very strange player. Like you wouldn't think someone 6'6" is like unbelievable with his feet and has great hold up play. It's the whole thing about him is just kind of he's an enigma. But I love to watch him.
Sometimes the unexpected is what works, though. What else have we got? Cav also saying, when we get to United, we should debate whether Sesko should start or not. Definitely something we can talk about 100%. Dave Boyne knows he's going on the naughty step. He's fully prepared for the naughty step. Streets is saying Carrick has got that calm aura about. I think he likes it too. Streets is saying Carrick's got that calm aura about him. He does, and I like that. Gav is saying that Dave needs more than the naughty step. Maybe he needs the wooden spoon. Let me see. What else? Anthony. Where's Anthony? I didn't even spot him. He's in the house. Yes. Let's get a membership button so I can make an ash emoji. That's actually the only reason I want to be monetized, so I can make an ash emoji. It's going to be so fun. You're going to look like an Ireland flag. Sorry. Oh, imagine the fun people. We have to get an ash emoji. Flossie is also loving the banter in the chat. Now,
do you know what? Actually, do you know what I've been loving recently? Seeing so many memes of Adama Traore and João Pedro. Have you seen him where he just throws Cucurella out the way and then he starts walking towards João Pedro after he does it?
I watched the clip, but I haven't seen any memes or anything.
There's been so many. It's so funny. Everyone's turning like Adama Traore into like the Hulk and stuff. It starts I'm not even joking. You need to have a look at some of the stuff.
I'm going to go and have a look. You'll have to send me some of them. Gary, who obviously now, obviously, I know it's the Spurs emblem. I love that. The profile picture is lovely. I love all that. Like, I have 2 tattoos. They're both like watercolor. I love the style of that. That's really quite nice. I believe Gary is in here because Gary was on Kate and Jimbo's stream the other day, and he was very lovely for a Tottenham I can't talk. That's the second thing that's happened to me tonight. I can't do it. He is saying, Spurs win 3-0. So Gary is feeling a lot more confident than our Kate was earlier today. Kate whispered, now she finalised with 2-2, but she whispered 4-1 to United. Jimbo was not pleased. Jimbo was not pleased at all. Now, Wills is saying on Voltamata, could be a bit of fatigue too. Lots of games played in the last couple of months, which is very true. Flossie is saying the own goal. She thinks the own goal shattered him. To be fair, that's probably right around the time that he, we don't know how much these things can get in people's heads.
He did end up scoring after that at St James's Park, and the fans were right behind him at home. But you could see when he did score the own goal at Sunderland, like he was definitely devastated. Like, I hope it's not affected him too much, and I hope that's not the reason.
But as you say, he's young, so you don't know. Between tired, when you're tired, everything upsets you more. So if he is tired and because he played so many minutes and then he's done that goal, and now just after that, and it's just a timing off, but Wiss is starting all the matches because he's come back to fitness. Those things all happening at the same time could just be a perfect storm for him as well. Shem is in the house. Another one of Kate and Jimbo's lovely people in the house. Good evening, Lady Lou. Hope you and Mr. Ash are well tonight. Well, Shem, we also hope that you are well tonight. Nathan is disappointed by Newcastle's midfield, especially when they struggle. They just have one solution, Tonali, and if he's having a bad day, then Newcastle look lackluster. So Nathan is disappointed. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, I get it when I would actually change that to Bruno Guimaraes. He's the person that I think, if he's not fit, then we struggle. Mm-hmm. Whenever he's not in the team, like I said, we literally we can't win a game. So he's kind of more of the linchpin. Sandro Tonali is obviously a massive engine, but I think you can change Sandro Tonali and Lewis Miley. Mm-hmm. I think they can be interchangeable because of how good Lewis Miley actually is. But
so you guys have a touch of the Brunos, basically. The same as us. A touch of the Brunos. When he's not there, you notice. Kate's mind was blown by the rabbit hole I took her down to talk about Pep Guardiola. She did not know what she was in for. Lumen actually has a very good point here. I fear for tomorrow because when we're confident, we get disappointed and vice versa. Very true. Sam is in the house. Welcome, Sam. Lovely to see you in our wee corner of YouTube. You never know who you're going to find. Luke Watts is in the house saying hello to lovely Mama Flossie. Everybody's here. Everybody's saying hi. Everybody, between the banter and the highs, I mean, honestly, let me see. What else is going on? Sam is answering the question we had earlier from Kavos. Sesko needs to hold the bench. What else? Gav is off to do his moderating duties. I'm sure we'll still be here when he's done. Let me see. Everybody is wishing him well. And Roddy, correct and right, is reminding people to hit the like button. Woo-hoo! Right, Ash, I'm done torturing you about your team, I think. I don't think you're on any more of these. So I'm done torturing you, which means we are back to... we're still on tab 1, by the way, of 12 people. So I hope you've all brought your sleeping bags. But let's go back to this. So the second game. Speaking of people being disappointed, I was incredibly disappointed with Chelsea because I have been a real advocate for Liam Rosenio. I've been very full of praise for him. I've said very nice things about this man. And then he let me down. He didn't even try, Ash. What did you think of this disappointing match?
The weirdest thing for me about this match was the commentary.
Gary Neville.
Yeah, like some of the comments. Because I don't know if you saw this, but obviously they were like, so they said in hour 1 that Arsenal needed to attack, and Man City said that we needed attack, and then said that Arsenal needed attack in this one. It was like completely contradictory just between both games. It was very weird. It wasn't the best semi-final to watch. No. But I think it's a big one for both teams that got through for the title race. Of course we do. It's the whole point. The stream, you put your questions in the chat and we come around to answer them. But yeah, I think the Arsenal-Chelsea one, I thought Arsenal was probably going to be winning that anyway, just because it's quite hard for any team to kind of go to the Emirates to score goals, to kind of put it on them. So yeah, in that sense, I wasn't surprised, but I think both legs of the semi-finals between our one and the Chelsea-Arsenal one weren't great to watch.
No,
I mean, ours was a bit more open, but I mean, if you were as a Newcastle fan, God, it was terrible to watch from my point of view.
No, but as a neutral, you at least tried. Chelsea just didn't try. I was so disappointed. And obviously, although maybe not obviously because you're not a United fan, did you see Garnacho's comments before that?
I didn't see his comments, no.
So Garnacho come out before the match and said, well, if Manchester United can go there and beat them, then we can do it too. Easy. Doesn't he look like a donkey now?
He makes a lot of comments about you guys, doesn't he? Like he did that like or something.
Free.
Well, he did. Did you do the like when Amorim got sacked or something like that?
Yeah, yes, he did. Like, several.
He's a very interesting fella. It's like he's one of those people that really has not got over his ex.
No, that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, he's really not got over his ex. It's very strange.
I love Casemiro will sort him out.
Someone needs to.
So, Ash, very quickly, because honestly, I don't care because I'm disappointed either of these teams are going to win now. Who do you reckon's going to win the final?
God.
I know it's hideous, but we do have some nice Arsenal fans in the chat. We do have Wills and Anthony in the house, so I'll do them the honour of asking the question.
I think it's a weird one because I think Arsenal's got the better team at the moment, have the better setup, but it's Pep. And that's my only slight
to watch
qualm.
My Pep segment from last Sunday. Honestly, you're never going to look at him the same again. It was about 20 minutes, and you'll know it's the segment because Kate's just like, "What have I gotten myself into?" But you'll never look at Pep the same again.
I do think it's going to be quite a close game. And I think it might actually go the whole way. It might even go to like penalties or extra time or something. And I think it's going to be Man City just nicks it.
Ooh. See, I reckon it's going to be Arsenal. Do you know what? It sounds mental. I think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League. I think they're going to win the Carabao Cup. I just need somebody else to win the other trophies. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League.
I think
Champions League ups.
the thing is, right, this game is going to be very big for Arsenal because I think if they don't win this, it's going to have a massive effect on their mental for the title race. Because you saw when was it Declan Rice when they drew the game or something, like he was like screaming like fucking hell and all stuff like this.
The same old shit and that kind of a
thing.
What I will say is that I think he can be a bit playing to the camera sometimes, been honest with Declan Rice. I think some of it's calculated.
Yeah, definitely.
But so you think City's going to nick it, and I think Arsenal, and we don't really want either of them to win now, so that's the end. That's the end of that segment. I really just wanted to talk about the poor performances. But Ash, questions have been rolling in while we've been talking about this, and two of them are quite similar, so we're going to go to it. So first of all, Kavos said, do you think Newcastle will have a problem keeping your players next season, Tonali and Bruno, etc.? But Anthony also kind of added to that, so I'm going to roll them into one. He doesn't want to make an enemy of you or Flossie, but he's going to. If Newcastle fail to get into the Europa League, is there a risk of losing the likes of Bruno and Sandra? So very similar questions, but with a little bit of extra context.
Yeah, well, I think it both feeds into the same thing, doesn't it? I think we have a big problem if we don't get European football. I think that's 100% set in stone. Will we lose them? I think we're more likely to lose Sandro Tonali.
Okay.
But if we do, he's going to go for a big fee because he's still got a contract till like 2029. So,
and there you go. Flossie is backing you up on that. Tonali just signed a new contract. Bruno's a Geordie, which would imply unlikely, but if he goes, lots of money.
Yeah. Wait, yeah. So, I would be very surprised if Tonali goes. I don't see Bruno going, to be honest. He's unless if a team, because when he came, he had the dream of he one day wants to go to play for Real Madrid. If Real Madrid comes in for him, I think then that would be a different story. But I don't see Bruno going. Tonali, like I said, potentially, especially if we don't get Champions League or even Europa League or anything like that. I think we are going to be in a world of problems, which is why I was worried about our January transfer window. Because I thought we needed to get someone in to help us.
To get you into Europe.
Yeah, it looks like you guys might be that team that gets the Champions League. So we're gonna have to be going for Europa League.
And you all said I was mental. Do you remember at the start of the season I predicted United finished 5th, and every one of you except Cal said I was nuts, and that's because he agreed with me. Maybe Quest, but everyone else laughed. Even the United fans. Where's David now, huh?
But I would say the reason why I thought that was a crazy probability was because I was under the impression that your ownership, why would they be getting in Ruben Amorim if they don't have a long-term plan for him? Because his system is completely different to how you were playing, your academy, how your team set up, all your players. So it must be a 2 or 3 year project for him just to start going. But little did I know, a year down the line, he's flipping out the door. He's flipping walking down the road, happy as Larry, because he's just got a £15 million payout.
Your mistake was to assume that our board are capable of logical thinking. Yeah. When you remove that, it all makes sense. Wills is saying, so glad everyone is calling Neville out for this. How he got into the position he's in needs investigating. I'll be honest, even as a United fan, I hate to see Neville commentating. I think he's a complete weapon. As a player, he was fantastic. See, as a pundit, I can't have him. I think he's a pain in the bejesus.
Yeah. I had to turn off the commentary for the Newcastle game. I just couldn't do it.
He's brutal. Streets is bargaining with Flossie. Tonali for Ugarte plus 20 million. Jesus. And Flossie has said a resounding no. Anthony for the final is predicting Arsenal to win 2-1 in extra time. That could be the one, you know. Let's just bookmark this, everybody.
Yeah.
That could be the one.
Rodney can really
has
see
Casemiro. Yeah, I could see that 100%. Roddy has Casemiro waving at him at the match. I hope you give him my phone number, Roddy. Streets is predicting 1-1 penalties. He reckons penalties, and on penalties, Arsenal are going to win.
I was going to say, well, who's going to win?
it was a separate comment. He was building suspense, Ash. Let me see. Wills is saying, scary thought for you United fans, so don't read if you don't want to lose sleep. Who will be your next generation of ex-pro pundits? I hope we don't bloody have any, because our players already run their mouths. Garnacho's brother, Mainoo's brother, and Rashford's brother, because they've done most of the talking for the last few years. Blossy is saying the title is Arsenal's to lose, and I think at this point everybody has to just admit that.
No. Well, the issue is, I think a lot of people have said that for a couple of weeks now, and then it's like they keep on being draws and stuff, and it's like every time it happens, you see the Arsenal fan base lose their shit. But
yeah, but I think now
there's
so much of the season gone. I think you would have to. Marv is in the house. Marv has made it. Woo, champers. Trav is in the house. Welcome. Marv is feeling excited to be here. I've just shouted all over the house. What else? Everybody's talking about. Let me see. Who else have we got? Twins are everywhere. Cavos is saying you need prime Almiron on that wing over Elanga.
Almiron. do you know what's crazy? It's like we are literally we got speculating about getting Alanson Maximum back at our club for a free agent. It's like, what are we doing? Like
craziness. Wills is saying, Lou, even if you do finish 5th, you're still nuts. I mean, Wills, you're probably right, but not about the football. That would just be general nuttiness. Let me see. There you go. Our board are morons. That was what you didn't factor in. Streets is saying Amram did a lot of good instilling discipline. Absolutely agree. He took out so much toxicity. He cleared the deadwood. He got rid of Garnacho and Rashford and everybody out of that dressing room. I will forever be grateful. I think what he did off the pitch was sensational. His problem was what he was doing on the pitch.
Yeah.
Anthony's saying 1 game a week for the rest of the season. If United don't get top 5 place, it's considered a bottle. Is it considered a bottle? Absolutely. 100%. All the teams around us are focusing on multiple things at once. We have one thing to focus on. We have somebody who understands the club. He's only there till the end of the season. So the manager bounce, I don't even think it's a bounce as such, but you know, the good time feeling is going to last. The only thing that could kill us is see if we get serious injuries, because again, we have 0 squad depth. We've no squad depth at all, and we didn't get anybody in January. So if we don't get any major injuries, yes, it's a ball, 100%. Jay is agreeing with the rest of us. It's because our board and owners are crap. There you go, Ash, resounding. Roddy is shouting for Gary Neville out. Behind the dugouts, welcome Kai. Nice to see you in the house. Let me see. Roddy, he wouldn't take it. Lies. I know he loves me. Kai is saying, and Kai is Chelsea, so he's saying the Arsenal and City game in the Prem will be the decider. I think if Arsenal are far enough ahead, it won't matter, being honest. Nathan has another question for Ash. Do you expect to finish in the top 8?
Yes. Where
in the top 8?
Between 6th to 8th. I think maybe 7th or 8th, actually, I think.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
We're going to come back to that. I want to ask you more about that in a minute. Roddy is saying she's nuts, but she's cool. Never a truer word spoken, Roddy. Absolutely correct and right. Marv is saying, I wouldn't call it a bottle. We're 1 or 2 injuries away from falling hard down the table. But if the injuries don't happen, then yes, it's a bottle. Trav, man, she's getting good. I was always good. It's just showing better. What can we say? Oh, Nathan, do you know what? You're correct and right. And I actually should have started the stream with this, only we were very late and I distracted myself. But you are absolutely 100% correct. It is obviously the anniversary of the Busby Babes, the air disaster, the Flowers of United. It's actually been lovely on X all day to see like all the rivals, like everybody's put up such lovely messages, like, and I know it transcends football, but sometimes people don't understand that. But like, see, when you see like the Liverpool official account, the Arsenal official account, the Premier League, the FA, everybody, all the official accounts, everybody's out, and it's just, it actually makes me so sad, and I'll cry. I'm one of them people, I cry at the puppy adverts. Do you know them sad made up stories on X and they end happy? I cry at the happy ending. I am a crier. So honestly, I was reading all the posts today and I'm like, oh no, I need to stop. Genuinely, I can't. I've seen the documentary once that I literally can't watch it. And I've seen the clips going around today. But so obviously, it's such an important day in our history as a football club. And it's one of the very, very few things that brings all United fans together. So it's really important, and you're 100% correct and right, Nathan, and it's not bringing the mood down at all. It's correct and right to acknowledge it and to remember it 100%.
Yeah, you definitely can't just forget about stuff like this. You have to keep it a topic, and especially on days where, like, on anniversaries or anything like that, it's important to talk about it, especially within football.
100%. And Wills is saying, gone but never forgotten. Absolutely 100%. Anthony, on a slightly different note, Arsenal to win the league at 115 FC. Library would be a dream come true. How many insults has he got into that sentence?
You just reminded me about the flipping the Etihad for the bloody semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Did you see their fans? Like, it was a flipping half the stadium one there.
It was terrible. And I think they're talking about making it bigger too. And
who are they getting in?
Vic is in the house. Vic is back in the chat. Yo. Came to take my lashing after United beating my Gunners. I was travelling, but how about Maguire's diving save in the box? Didn't know he was a goalie. Well, I'll tell you what. He's a striker, he's a defender, he's a goalie, he has a touch of the John O'Shea's about him. He could be in goal if we needed him. He'd probably be better than Onana, but we will take him. And let me see. It's always been like that, Ash. Empty seat FC. And Roddy with RIP babies, we will never forget. Absolutely correct. Anthony is saying, oh God, Ash.
That's crazy.
That's embarrassing. That is terrible. 32,000 was the official attendance at City for the semi-final final. That's an embarrassment. But since we are speaking about City, actually, hold on, we'll get Marv's prediction because he was in his meetings and now he's here. It will come down to penalties, and sadly, I think 115 FC will pull out the win. Marv, I didn't know you were coming here just to give us bad news, okay? Although the alternative is bad news as well, to be fair. Mama Flossie, half of them were Geordies, and that's it. That's it. Do you know, it touches everybody so much. But we're doing a lot of speaking about Manchester City. So let's put the focus on them. Let me see. I don't even have screen. So I had 12 tabs and then I have topics that aren't on the tabs. So Ryan Cherky. So we talked about Voltamada as a potential signing of the season for you guys. You reckon Chow. But Ryan Cherky, he's a potential Premier League signing for the season. He only cost them £30 million, which I think is wild. I thought he was cost way more than that. 30 million. He's a horrible little sod, and his quotes about United, and we smushed him. But he's very good.
It's do you know the craziest? So obviously, Man City must subsidise a lot of that money with like agent fees and whatever sort of fees, because the thing is, he's only 22 years old as well, which is absolutely crazy to think about that for the price. His contract runs until like 2030 or something, which actually isn't that far away. But yeah, no, I would agree. He's if he carries on the way he's going, I think he will be the signing of the season. Unless I think they'll be between maybe him, Ekitike, and like I said, maybe Malik Chow for me.
And Granit Xhaka there from behind the dugouts. Xhaka has got to be up there with a shout. Well, considering Sunderland literally can't play without him, I'd say, you probably do have to recognise that too.
Yeah, so the way that I'm looking at it is kind of international signings from players that haven't been in the league and stuff. I think we all know what Xhaka is capable of. He went to Leverkusen, did an invincible season. Like, he was unbelievable when he was at Arsenal.
But for a team like Sunderland to get him,
I'm surprised. I think people just maybe didn't want him for his age because there won't be longevity in him. But he's unbelievable. I mean, it's like Igor Jesus.
Well, Haaland has had 2 open play goals in the whole month of January. So, and he was just ahead of him. So, I mean, good shout. And
I was going to say, which Igor are we on about it?
I'm assuming that one.
There's Igor Thiago, isn't there? And Igor Jesus.
No, well, I'm assuming we're talking about Thiago, because he's just behind Haaland in the scoring. He's been unbelievable. So I just assumed. Well, that's the one I'm going with anyway. Whether Marv tells me different now, I'm not even listening.
Also, Leeds have just scored, so it's 2-0 to Leeds.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh no, Ash, will it still let us do our predictions, even though obviously we've missed the Leeds one? It's telling me I can still type.
I'd imagine so.
We'll find out later. If not, we'll just write them down. Never mind. Never even thought of 2-0 is crazy, because to be honest, I would have said a draw for that. That my guess was a draw. So hold on, I see. What did I put in the predictor game? So I'm not telling you lies. My predictor game, I put 2-2. So I'd say that's me out, unless Forest stage an almighty comeback. Crazy. But I want to go back to this, because Rodri is one of the people I want to talk about. This is excellent, lads. These are unbelievable tonight. These are just you talk about things and they're on my list. I love it. Love it. So Nathan is saying he loves the Rodri downfall. Have you seen Rodri's comments about the referees not being fair and not wanting them to win because they've won so much already, Ash?
I mean, God. I mean, listen, everyone here knows my stance on referees.
Yeah.
But Rodri's definitely going down a bit of a rabbit hole here, isn't he? Flipping out. I think there just needs to be a blanket statement. Just get rid of, to help my team, everything. The referees just need to be investigated in general, because Jesus Christ. Make me remember about the PSG stuff again now. Oh my God. I hate referees.
Ray is saying # throw the book at Rodri. Do you know what was the funniest part of the whole thing? The fact that he should have been sent off in that match.
Yeah, I know.
And then he comes out crying. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I think
Speaking
he's like...
of crying though, Ash, I think he gets it from his manager. Because Pep was having a bit of a cry that where he was going to be ineligible to play in the final of the Carabao Cup, because we should just break more rules for City. They've decided they can't break them behind the scenes anymore. We should help them break them.
I mean,
what did you reckon to that, Ash?
I already thought it was complete bullshit that they allowed flipping Semenyo to play in the competition. So they've got one person that they shouldn't have had already. So, like, that matters. But, of course, they just want more things to help them, which, I mean, from his point of view, I get why he would want it. But for the benefit of the game, we need to stop just doing these stupid rules that benefit the best teams. Like, I hate it. Like, we just
Vic
shouldn't...
has read my mind. Read my mind. He is online with us, Ash.
Yeah, the thing is, it's complete stupidity. I know there's always that saying that, oh well, they've done it, so technically you guys could do it. But that's not how it works. It shouldn't be that. It should be like, say if Wolves were the team that's going to be in the semi-final, the final, they're not going to be buying the best players of other teams. Like, there just needs to be a bit more fairness. And what the rule has created is not fairness. Granted, it's nice that now Gahey's not going to be able to play in it, so I guess that's something. But there's still Semenyo. Semenyo is still going to be able to play, which is another problem.
My thing is, I kind of understand what Pep said, his reasoning. So his reasoning was, we've spent a lot of money to buy this player. He is now contractually working for Manchester City. Therefore, why should we not be allowed to play our player in our matches? So I actually can understand his argument. What I think is ridiculous is they knew the rule before they bought him. So they shouldn't be surprised by this because they already knew, like Trav, exactly, change the rules for us. That's what people have a problem with. It's not necessarily, I'd say there probably is people like me that can understand what Pep's saying. So I see what you're saying about the rule. It should have stayed basically the same way it was. If you're cup tied, you're cup tied. So I can understand what you're saying. I would probably actually agree with Pep to the point of, I would say they've changed the rule incorrectly. I just think it shouldn't be from a certain point in the competition. If you buy the player, the player is employed by your club, then you should be able to play them in any match regardless.
It's either they do it.
That's why you buy them. But I agree that they've half done it. Pick one or the other. Exactly what you're saying. Pick one or the other. Half doing is nonsense. And the fact that City thought, well, we know this rule exists, but we're going to ask you to change it for us anyway, I just thought was mental. And I just think when you have Pep coming out saying stuff like that, is it really surprising when Rodri then says mental things? What I'm surprised about is that there doesn't seem to be any punishment. How can they allow that to be said and nothing be done? Because they're essentially saying, well, it's okay to say that. And I like this from Trav. Trav is saying, most of us aren't even arrogant enough to ask. Like, which is the point, really. Nobody else would think, can you change the rules for us?
Yeah, it is a bit mad. But yeah, I mean, I understand why he says it, and I sympathise with it a bit, but I don't blame City for asking. But it should not have been public. Yes, I
blame them for asking.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Like a lot of this stuff obviously does happen behind closed doors, but every now and again, some things do come out to the public. It's not terrible.
It's a stupid rule, but feck it, it's City. I think that's essentially how a lot of people feel about the whole situation, being honest with you. That seems to be. PFC TV is in the house with my favourite profile picture ever. And, you know, guys, it doesn't really bother me. I just think it was cheeky to ask, to be honest. But that is not the last thing I want to say about Pep, because I'm leading on to the next thing. Ash, I'm in a flow. I'm in such a flow tonight, right? So this is good. This is good. So Pep, being the best manager ever that he is, has some words of advice for his fellow manager, Arne Slot. So We're going to go backwards. We're going to go with what Pep had to say, and then we're going to talk about the quote that he's referring to, okay? So I'm going to play this. You guys should be able to hear it. So please let me know that you can.
If you're sharing, we can't see it.
Excellent, Ash. That's why you're here. I'm like playing it, waiting for you to all see it. Right, good. Well, I could hear him, so that's excellent. Right, share this tab instead, and then put it on the screen. Good stuff. I did that, Ash, the other day. I played a full video. Nobody could see it. I thought they could all see it. Honestly, because I can see it, I think you can. But PFC TV says my earrings are nice, so it doesn't matter if I'm stupid, okay? So let's try that again.
Maybe managing is better to win trophies. Otherwise, you don't have chance to play nice football. I think everything's related because as much you win, you play good, and everyone has. The most important, Aaron's know, is defend what you believe, your style, convince your players to try to do it in the way you believe is the best for the players to have, the players in your soul you believe. I think this is the most important thing. Maybe managing is better.
So, Pep was asked about what's important when you're a manager. What do you think? Because Arne Slot said some strange things in the week. So this is the quote that he was being asked about. I've clicked. As a manager, you can win the league, you can win the Champions League, you can win the FA Cup or a League Cup. But the biggest thing you can win is that you can play the nicest football to watch. What do you reckon to that, Ash? Never mind your Champions League. We want to look good.
It's from a Newcastle point of view. We used to play shit football, and all we wanted was to play good football, which is what we have under Eddie Howe. However, as a manager, the main thing that you're wanting to do is to instill a style of football. Mm-hmm. Normally, it's quite good on the eye that will win leagues. Like the main thing, what a manager should be aiming to do is win trophies. Playing a nice style of football to go with it, that's a bonus. That's not the main thing of what a manager should be doing. But it's the same for like Jose Mourinho. Are we going to say that he had beautiful football? No. I mean, of course, there was times that it looked good, but I wouldn't. I would take being a bit more counter-attacking and not being expansive and winning trophies in leagues over anything else. So it's. Well, I think Slot just comes out with some interesting things near enough every single week. And I've told you this, Lou. I've told you this, Lou. Look at his forehead. It's getting shinier and shinier every time we see these pictures of him. He's
agrees.
Every time. Every time. He's polishing it. Every single time that.
I don't understand why he says these things out loud. He should ask somebody first. Like, you can see when Pep is asked about it, like, you can see he's amused by the situation because he's a bit like, I don't want to throw the man under the bus, but like, you kind of got to win the trophies. Streets with a great point. Nice football, no trophies is the Spurs way. Maybe if they sack Frank, Arne Slot could go to Spurs. He would fit right in. Behind the dugout is saying any team will sacrifice football for trophies. 100%. Wills is saying we won it ugly, then won it beautifully, then lost it beautifully. Now maybe winning ugly again is the Arsenal way. I don't care how pretty or ugly it is, just win. You get the trophy. It's like, there's a show that I love called Supernatural, okay? And it's about two brothers.
Great show.
Do you know what?
Carry on, Matt. I watched every single episode of it.
That's
Carry
so
on, my wayward son.
Ash, you're going to know the quote. This is very exciting. You don't understand how much I absolutely love the show, okay?
Me too.
But do you know that driver picks the music, shotgun shuts his cake hole, okay? If you're winning the trophies, I will shut my cake hole. There you go.
Nathan, say sorry now.
Nathan!
Say sorry now. No, Supernatural is not mid. It's an unbelievable show.
Nathan, although that's so disappointing.
I nearly cried at the end, I will say.
I refuse. I refuse to watch it. I refuse. Yeah. I have the box set. I refuse. That's it. It's all right. Behind the Dugouts is in our gang.
Yeah, did you know what? That was actually...
I can't believe this.
That was actually the first series that I ever watched, like, with my dad, like, on repeat, like through...
I watched it with my mom.
Yeah, and it was great.
Nathan is backing out. He's only riling me up. He didn't mean it. Flossie, you need to get on it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
On it. Unbelievable. I love it. I love them. I love everything about it. I love all of it. There's nothing I don't love.
I will say, Flossie, if you do get on it, there's a fair few episodes for you to watch.
Yeah, but you know what it is, though? It's one of those that grabs you straight away. Do you know the way some series are like a slow build? Supernatural isn't. You're like, wham, bam, you're in. Yeah. You're going to go through all the emotions. It's wonderful. See, when I started watching it when it was on ITV, like before it was picked up by any of the major companies. It was like, I was a teenager, like it was way back.
I know, so same.
Like, I went through it, Ash. I went through all of life, all the breakups, all of the happy times. Supernatural was there in the background. Anybody annoyed me, I just watched some demon hunting. Loved it. It got me through so much of my teenage years. Was me just holding up with Supernatural, being like, well, at least I'm not out there hunting demons. So yes, in case anyone wants to know what I do in my spare time when I'm not watching football, I watch Supernatural. It's excellent. Highly recommend. Roddy reminding everybody again to hit the like. He's on the ball this evening. Ash, that is very exciting. I just can't believe you watched it. Trav is saying Buffy. I also love Buffy.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy's making a comeback. Woo, woo, woo.
I've not even seen this.
Yeah, it's not a reboot. She is
going a spin-off.
No. Sarah Michelle Gellar is coming back, but she's in the new generation of Slayers. So I don't know how I'm going to feel. See if Spike isn't back. I don't know if I'm going to love it as much. I love Spike. I just think he's unbelievable. When I was younger, I loved Angel. Now that I'm a grown up, at least physically, I love Spike. I was watching clips from the musical episode the other day. Trav also, lads, who needs football? We're not going to get through this. We're now in. I've covered 2 topics.
Just going back down memory lane at this point.
Love it. Wills loves Grimm. I didn't see Grimm.
Grimm, I've seen all of Grimm as well.
I didn't see
Great.
Grimm.
That was actually another show.
I'm actually writing that down. I'm going to look at Grimm. I love all this shit. Right,
Grimm's a great series.
I'm gonna look that up. Well, you obviously have the same taste as me, so if you liked it, I'll probably like it. This is great.
Yeah, you will. It's very similar to Supernatural.
Oh, excellent. Roddy is saying 90210?
Yeah.
He's got excited. Anthony is also saying to smash the like button, but don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications. Switch them to all, because it goes to this little default setting, which only gives you some, and then you miss things like this. So you have to turn your notification bell to all. Luke Watts.
It was quite sad though about the end of Grimm. Like, it ended up getting cancelled, which it sucked.
Likes. Ash, there's nothing sad about anything anymore. We have 33 likes while live. Unbelievable. Right, people. Back to football. We'll have to go, because if I start talking about Supernatural, that's it. We're a way off. We could be here for more than 3 hours. Right. But so Slot's a bit nuts. People aren't really talking about him, even though he's nuts. But there's more. I have more. Right. So we're going to get rid of this. This is just a bit of fun for me. Alanma's not here tonight, so it's okay. Every Ekatike goal just makes it funnier that they subsequently spent £125 million on Isaac for no discernible reason. And honestly, every time I read this, it makes me laugh. So I thought I would just bring it to everybody, because I've been saying this. And I know, like, Newcastle fans agree, but now it seems like other people are seeing it. And it just gives me a giggle. And I thought I would share the giggle with everybody. I knew Flossie would like it.
You see, I would laugh at this, but all I can do is now just picture when the camera kept on pointing to that little flipping goon's face whenever Liverpool would score. And he's there just like smiling. It was actually annoying me.
But you know what? He was there with his broken foot smiling. So focus on the broken foot and you won't feel so bad about it. But moving on to more mayhem at Liverpool, because apparently that's what I'm focusing on right now. I'm trying. I'm seeing all the TV shows in the chat and I'm trying so hard to focus at, because let's face it, it doesn't take much to distract me. But you can still see what I'm showing, yes?
Yep.
Excellent. So this was from a little while ago, but I've been saving it so we could talk about it. This was from the 31st of January, which to be fair was only a week. So breaking. There was a heated clash in the dressing room. Her favourite, Virgil, is involved, after the loss to Bournemouth, involving Virgil van Dijk, Curtis Jones with Arne Slot. Curtis and Virgil questioned the tactics and effort. They're questioning his effort. While Van Dijk stayed calm, Curtis lost his temper, which did not go down well with the manager. As a result, Curtis Jones was dropped from the squad against Carabao and is now linked with a loan move to Inter. This isn't the first incident either. Robertson, McAllister and Salah have also had bust-ups with Slot this season. And I just like this first comment here as well. If Van Dijk, Salah, Robertson and McAllister are all clashing with you, it's no longer player power, it's a warning sign. Dropping Curtis for questioning tactics feels more like insecurity than authority. Results will decide who's right. I thought it was a very good comment, actually, to be fair. What do you reckon to all of this?
I can see why this stuff will have come out. I mean, at the end of the day, they smashed the league last season. They've spent absolutely flipping hundreds and hundreds of millions in the summer. They then started the season really well with questionable results. They were getting a lot of late winners, and then obviously they went on that run where they had nine losses in like 12 games. So I can very much understand why this stuff will be coming out, because I don't think they're probably expecting they're expecting to be playing a lot better and scoring a lot and be challenging. So it doesn't surprise me this. I think it is a warning sign. I think everyone's in the same boat. I think they're surprised Slot hasn't been fired already. Mm-hmm. I think everyone's surprised that he's still at the job, which I would probably think he's going to be there until at least summer. I mean, at the end of the day, they had Klopp for so long, who was an unbelievable manager. So they've obviously got someone slightly different, and they just don't agree with maybe some of the things he's saying. And it's obviously his style of play is a bit different to how Klopp set them up. So it's causing a lot of problems. But he shouldn't be sidelining a player because he's questioned the tactics. It should be, in my opinion, it should be fine to do that as a player.
I disagree. Actually,
you think a player shouldn't be able to question tactics?
Not in a dressing room in front of the other players. So I'm assuming it's the same at all clubs, but say at Manchester United, there's like a leadership group of players. So I would expect if a player has an issue, they go to the leadership group because that's the point of them. And then the leadership group will present these to the manager in a professional way. I don't think if I go to work tomorrow that I should be in front of all of my work colleagues calling out my manager saying, well, I don't think you're going about hitting the KPIs in the right way. I think your strategies are wrong. I think where you're setting up the key products are wrong. I actually think the way you do the rotas is terrible. I don't think you're very good at your job. And kind of just what Travis saying there, there's a chain of command. And I don't think calling out your manager in the dressing room like a coup or like a mutiny, that to me sounds like a mutiny. It doesn't sound like we have a problem, we're presenting it to you in a professional manner. It sounds like a mutiny. And I think that's unprofessional. So no, I don't think they should be doing it. I don't think he's good enough and I think he should be sacked. But I also think there's a way to go around it. And I don't think that's the way.
Yeah, I get it. I think there's, like I said, I think it depends on what extent that the conversation was. If it like Nathan said a good point there. I'm not sure how it's came out. Again, it seems like I don't really understand how stuff like this does sometimes come out.
And
But
this does indicate player power, because we've had this at United.
yeah,
If your squad's leaking internal conflict to the outside, then that's not good. They're
yeah,
undermining him. How is he ever going to succeed if they're undermining him at every turn? Like, we're not seeing this with Rosenio, who's very young and unproven, who we maybe expected it with because of some of the personalities like Garnacho in the Chelsea dressing room. And we're not seeing that yet.
I mean,
we're seeing expect it.
We're seeing certain things like the hand washing, the clapping of gloves, there's all that stuff. But yeah, no, like for me personally, I don't have a problem with stuff like this being questioned. It just depends how it's questioned. Like that's where I think it's differentiated. If it's like it looks like someone's, if they're ganging up on him, being like, "Look, we just don't agree with this," then that just means that they've just lost all they've lost all the belief in the manager. Which that is a bit of player power as well.
Yeah, which, to be fair, it's what it sounds like. I can understand if they don't trust him, they don't think he's the guy. I can understand if they maybe want a new manager, if they, but at the end of the day, he's their boss. If he tells them to do something, it doesn't matter if they agree. Unless it's illegal, go do it. You're paid to do what you're told, so go do it. And if it doesn't work, he's the person, if it doesn't work, that's going to pay with his job. They're not going to get sacked if they fail.
I also think, for me personally, stuff like this, they have the right to question this stuff if they're then performing. The likes of what Virgil van Dijk and stuff have been doing on the pitch, that is not down to anything Slotter's taught them. Like, they need to perform well, and if they don't agree with some of the tactics or whatever, then yes, they need to bring it up with him. However, they have a duty of themselves to perform. Like, I've heard so many ex-players have said that, say, a manager has said, set up the defensive line like 30 yards or something. The defenders then disagreed with it and actually pushed him like 5 yards further up the pitch. Like, which, that's fine if they can see that in the moment, but I just think there's times and places to do it. And I think it all starts with how you're performing. And Virgil van Dijk and Curtis Jones have not really been in a position to say that they've been performing well this season. And I don't think they should just be pointing that on Arne Slot.
No. And I feel like the players are using Arne Slot as a bit of a scapegoat. We know, again, at United, we know the players are on social media all the time. They're very aware of what's happening on social media. So these players are aware that a large part of the Liverpool fan base are not happy with Arne Slot. They don't want him there. They don't think he's good enough. A lot of the Liverpool fans are Arne Slot out. Okay, so by throwing him under the bus, I mean, like, oh well, we don't like him either. They're absolving themselves from the blame. They're throwing him under the bus, and I just think in a professional environment, I know the world is changing. I just don't think you can speak to your boss in that manner. There has to be a hierarchy, otherwise it's anarchy. That's why we have hierarchies. I think if there's a problem, it should go through the leadership group and there should be a meeting with the manager to discuss it. I don't think there should be a ruckus in the dressing room after a match where it's a free-for-all. I think that's wrong, and I think they're scapegoating him. I think the players are scapegoating him. While he's terrible, I agree with you. They're also terrible. We have another new chatter in the house. So Albo England says, I think younger coaches, managers relate more to players of this generation than older coaches. And I think that probably is a big thing, to be fair, because there is a drastic difference in generations and how they approach things, more so than I think there was in the previous generations. This one seems very different. It's like a whole new world.
I think that's mainly down to the social media, to be honest. I think a lot of the older managers flipping heck, they got no idea about it, do they? So
no, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
And I did see Flossie had a good one. Where is it? Imagine any of the United lads confronting Sir Alex. There would only be one result. And I think that, again, like, there just would have been none of it whatsoever. And I do think there are some modern managers like that. Like, I don't think anyone's going into Pep in the dressing room being like, you've lost it, you don't know what you're doing, even if what he's doing is mental. And I think when Arteta came in, he created that environment, because obviously he got rid of the likes of, who was their captain? What was his name? Aubameyang. And, anyone who basically kind of stood up, and I think it was in the way it was being done, he just got rid of them. He was like, you fall into line or you just get removed completely. So while I think, yes, the players should have a say, or what I think is like the manager should ask the players for, not feedback necessarily, but, if there's things, do you know at work, you do the feedback survey most of the time? I think there should be something like that where they can provide input. But at the end of the day, they need to understand that whether they like it or not, he makes the final decision. And that's just how it works in the real world. And I think that's the problem as well. A lot of them don't live in the real world.
Yeah, definitely.
Roddy is saying, and again, this is probably the United point of view, once a player goes public, they're gone. The board should make a show of them. And like that, we've gone through not one, we've gone through player after player after player after player that's done this. So we probably are very heavily influenced by our own experiences. Obviously at Newcastle, it's probably quite different because our dressing room isn't as toxic as ours. So if a player is speaking out, it probably is in a more respectful way.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else? Vic is saying, what about when Slot kept playing Szoboszlai at wing back? Yeah, so maybe the manager sometimes makes some questionable decisions.
I mean, look, I think, like I said, I think what they're saying is probably right, but But the thing is it down to them to make the decision? It's down to the owners to know that he's not the right manager.
Yeah.
And everyone can see that from outside of point of view. And it's probably one of the reasons why they brought it up as well, because social media is saying it as well.
And that's it. And that's where what you said comes in. Social media feeds into it very much so. Trav is saying, pointing fingers and placing blame, it shows they're embarrassed about their season, which is true. So the fact, whether it's right or wrong, the turmoil itself shows that they're embarrassed and that they're panicking. What are we saying? Marv, questioning the effort is something not on the coach, but on the players. The player leadership, the tactics, yes, that's all on Shiny. So Marv, agreeing with you, the effort is down to the players, the tactics are down to the manager. It can be both. And Nathan again agreeing, tactics or no tactics, you have to show up on the field. It's called professionalism. So a lot of us do agree on that. Albo England is saying, but look at Real Madrid, a bunch of prima donna players who sacked a winning manager and legend being Alonso, player power stinks. That's very true. See that dressing room. See when you have like Vinny and Jude Bellingham, and I mean massive. Yeah. That's honestly, there would be football boots flying. TVs would be coming up. I couldn't have that absolute. And prima donna is the exact right phrase. And Ash, actually, I'm going to ask you about this because I don't really care. I saw a thing today. Thomas Tuchel has said that Jude Bellingham is not guaranteed to start in the England squad. And is it Morgan Rogers might be over him? Yeah. I think that's great, because I think Jude Bellingham, from the outside looking in, forget talent, I think his attitude absolutely stinks. And I think Morgan Rogers has been unbelievable this season. So what do you reckon to that as obviously an England fan?
Look, since Tuchel came in, he said he's not going over favourites or anything. He's going over form and he's building an actual team. It's exactly what we want. It's exactly what any sort of international fan wants. It's you don't want to have just stick players that are quote unquote the most talented and just hope they work, because that's the problem we've had in the past. You need to create an actual system where you have players that maybe aren't the best in their position, but they help out the rest of the team. And I think his comments, well, I don't know whether it was him that said it. I know it came out.
Yeah.
It came out and said, I don't know where it's come from, but I completely agree. I don't think any any place in the England squad should be safe. I think everyone should have to be working and earning for it. And it's the same as how it is for club football. If you're not performing, you shouldn't be playing. You should be on the bench. See, I don't change that. I think in the number 10 role, we have an abundance of talent that we can go there, whether it's Bellingham, Palmer, Foden, Morgan Rogers, Morgan Gibbs-White. Like, we have so many players that can play that position, that Jude Bellingham needs to be able to perform better to be able to get his chance to get there. And yeah, I don't think that was a problem in that coming out. I think there's some positions that I think are set. I think Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson will be starting for England, and then it will be up for the debate of who's getting the attacking midfield role. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And Morgan Rogers has looked great for England, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Great for Villa as well.
I completely agree. I think it's absolutely the right thing. Obviously, I'm not as emotionally invested, but I think it's absolutely the right thing. And it's what I've seen England fans asking for. So I hope they're going to now be happy about it now that it's actually happening. Ray is coming in and he is giving us the devil's advocate option. And he's saying maybe Curtis Jones had already tried the professional approach and spoke to Slot privately in his office already. Maybe the dressing room was the last straw. My answer to that is, if you've provided the feedback, the manager didn't take it on board, shut your mouth and do your job. You're not paid to overrule the manager. If you want to provide an opinion, that's fine. But either continue to do the job that you're being paid to do respectfully, or go somewhere else. Because it's just not your job.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say Curtis Jones is, like I said, exactly that player that's the elk of Liverpool football. I don't think he is the best prospect that's coming from them. So I think he is a bit more of a squad player, isn't he? So
it can be right message, wrong messenger. I just think it was the wrong delivery. So, yeah. But it's always good to have the devil's advocate approach. So it's good that we have Ray in the house to give the other side, which is important because we don't want to rule out anybody's opinion. Nathan, there should be a hierarchy, otherwise it would be anarchy. Eminem, take notes, mate. I'm telling you. Another one of my childhood favorites. Let me see. And Albo England is a new subscriber, and we are delighted to have you here. And I did see, now we're going to come back because I see some other bits in there, but I did see, where did it go? Where is he? I've passed it. I've seen it and I've passed it. Where is he? He's another one. I think I have more Arsenal fans in my chat than any other team. And I don't know how, because all I do is give out about them. So I don't know how to keep finding me. It's Wills. Wills is recruiting them all into the chat to back them up when I slag them off. But I had to see, when I saw he was another one, I thought, my goodness me, Wills is recruiting them, so he is.
You're everywhere.
And speaking of Wills, Arteta's first priority was fixing the culture, and forgive me, but it's true, the standards for everything. And you know what? I actually think that's where the parallel with Ruben Amorim was. The first thing Amorim did, he went after the culture. He wasn't getting results on the pitch, but he did go after the culture. So I can relate.
Just to let you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's just scored.
Oh, there you go. Flossie. What is it with the Newcastle heads were in sync there? Straight in. That's 3-0. Oof. I didn't see that coming. Definitely not. They'd hadn't won in their last 6 games or something. They had a dreadful record going into this match. Because I was backing them. Ash, every week we did the predictions. I was Leeds to win and they kept losing. But yeah, there we go. Nathan is saying another gunner. They're everywhere. They are. And Albo England is saying the England national team needed someone like Tuchel. Correct and right. Wills is saying, join us, there's no escape. Let me see. What else? Nathan is saying England, if they have to win, need to have Bellingham because he has bailed them out in all difficult situations. But maybe I'm biased because I'm a Real Madrid fan too. Nathan, when you see Guess, she's probably sleeping because she was up super early this morning. Guess, now she's United, but she's also a Madrista. So there's actually of two of yous in the house as well. Somehow I'm attracting Arsenal and Real Madrid fans.
I mean,
Ash, how are we doing it?
It's interesting because I have been watching him a bit play for Real Madrid, and he has looked good. But I also think there should be an equal say in that there is also the possibility that his role isn't just there for him. He needs to have competition. Yeah. Any good team needs to have competition for places, and there's an abundance of competition there, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Competition can only be a good thing. Roddy is saying, well, Rodgers is better than Jude anyway, so what's not to like? So Roddy's not too worried.
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, to be honest. I think Rodgers has had a great season and he's looked good, but Jude Bellingham is absolute class, to be honest. And he is one of those players that keeps on going until the last minute of the game. So like I said, we'll just see how it goes, and hopefully he just picks up form with Real Madrid.
And Albo England is on fire. New sub and on fire in the chat is saying he likes what Postecoglou said. One bad apple is a lot of problems in the dressing room, and he's correct and right, because one bad apple spoils the barrel 100%. So do you think that's part of Tuchel's thinking, is that he's obviously seeing what's going on at Real Madrid and he doesn't like the attitude?
Maybe, but I mean, I don't know if that's the best hill to die on, because if you look at Aston Villa, you got Unai Emery that's just beating up his own players. So
That's true. They're crazy. Nathan is a big fan, Ash. Ash is such a logical fan. I am very happy to interact with you, man. Isn't that lovely, Ash? You're getting loads of love tonight. Nathan. And Ash is, for everybody who maybe hasn't seen Ash before, because we do have some new people in our chat tonight because we're cool. Ash NUFC. I have him tagged in the title of the video. When we're finished, do go over and give Ash a subscribe. I am the chaos. Ash is the calm. So if you want factual information, that's where to get it. If you want chaos and emotions, I'm right here. And then obviously he very kindly comes on with me every single week and the perfect storm happens. But yes, Nathan is already subbed. He's ahead of the game, and Albo England is very happy to have found this channel, and we are very happy that you found us as well, because we're having a great old time. But Ash, I have one more thing. Let me see. Do I have one more thing? Do I have the one more thing? I have one more thing I want to ask you about, and then we're going to do, I hope it's going to work, Premier League predictions. Obviously, we won't be predicting the first match, but we'll be predicting all the rest of them, and that takes us long enough. But
can we predict the first match?
I mean, it might be the only one we get right.
For us to win.
Speaking of comments, Christian Romero, for the second time, and now Kate, I don't know, Kate might be... could be past Kate's bedtime, actually. This is quite late for her. Asked me about these yesterday because I saw his first comments. I didn't realize he had come out again. So this is the second set of comments, okay? And what he has said, and this is from his Instagram, so it's definitely real. Great effort from all my teammates yesterday. They were incredible. I wanted to be available to help them, even though I wasn't feeling well, especially since we only had 11 players available. Unbelievable, but true and disgraceful. Facepalm. We'll keep showing up and taking responsibility to turn this around, working hard and staying together. All that's left is to thank all of you for being here and for always supporting us, the fans. And then he tagged the Spurs official Instagram account. Now, his previous comments were saying the jokes, I'm reading the comments, was saying that, you know, it shouldn't be him coming out having to make these statements. It should be the board, but they only come out and talk when things are good, and when things are bad, essentially the team are left on their own, and the system's not very good. And obviously he's the captain. There's rumours that he's looking to move away. I don't think when you're this passionate you do want to move away. I think you want change. But Ash, what do you reckon to these comments? Speaking of players speaking out, he is speaking out.
I mean, I think he's obviously talking about the massive injury crisis that I guess Spurs have had since the start of the season, the end of last season, which is fine. Of course, he's not going to be part of the team if he's not fit, really. I don't have a problem with I guess sort of like captains, or as you would have it, sort of that level, coming out with stuff like this. But I'm surprised there aren't more things about how Frank should be gone, because he's caused an absolute craziness for the Spurs in the league. But
Frank didn't fine him after the first comments. I reckon him and Frank get along, because
I would imagine
saved
so.
Frank's job a few times.
I stuff like this to me, he backs the manager, which surprises me, to be honest, more than anything, for how Spurs have been in the league. Granted, I know in the Champions League they've been completely different, but they can sack Frank with his. They can't sack.
Can't.
I just they can't sack Frank for his. Yeah, I know. This is where I think there's a massive issue. Is if he was not having the Champions League results that he's getting, I think he would have been gone by now. But the fact is, he is. So unless if he goes out in the Champions League in the next game, which they're through to the round of 16, so it's going to be interesting how they go. I do think Spurs are going to get a bit of an upturn in form. I don't think they're going to be finishing 14th. I think they might be pushing for around mid-table. They have too much of a good squad to be finishing bottom half of the table. But
he's right, though, because there was one match where they had 14 players unavailable to play, or it might have been 15, but it was like 14 or 15 players just couldn't play. So I can see where he's coming from, but again, I think I just feel like insubordination. But to be fair, when your club's in that situation, I don't think I'd like Bruno coming out saying this kind of stuff, even though we all know it's the case. I just don't know if I would want my captain coming out repeatedly with these comments.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment, and I think they come from a good place. I don't know if it helps. But
no, it definitely doesn't.
It does bring us nicely into the next segment of the show, because Marv is saying, Champions League or not, Spurs are getting battered tomorrow. Come on, United. So with that, I am going to bring some nice stats in about Manchester United and things that are important for us to know, because Kate and Jimbo tried to put the frighteners on me, primarily Jimbo. I'm looking at you here. Tried to put the frighteners on me with things like we haven't beaten Spurs in 8 games since 2022, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? I went and had a word with Statman Dave, and he said only Burnley and Wolves have conceded more first-half goals than Tottenham in the Premier League this season. So what that tells me, we go out and score in the first half and Spurs are over. But I have an even better stat. So, according to Football on TNT Sports,
why does his mouth look AI?
Because
his mouth looks so weird.
He doesn't look real, Ash. Well, I'll tell you what, them teeth are real because he hasn't brushed them. Man United have lost just 2 of their 18 Premier League games with Sene Lammens in goal this season. So if we stick together the fact that Spurs are dreadful in the first half, Sene Lammens has been unbelievable since we got him, and the fact that our manager is up for Manager of the Month, because we are now, I believe, 6 games unbeaten, I would suggest we're going to beat Spurs. I think we're going to do it, you know. I think we're going to beat them by several goals. But first, do we have another game to predict? No, that is the first game to predict, which is even better. Even better. Look at me teeing myself up, and I didn't mean to. Now, what I'm going to do, Ash, is I'm going to refresh this and just see if it still works. Still works. What's the score of that Leeds match? 3-0?
3-0 right now.
Excellent. What a good prediction, team.
3 Leeds, 4 Nottingham Forest.
Imagine. Right. So, based on everything I've just shared with everybody, Streets has gone early. Where is he? Streets has gone early. He is saying 4-1 United. And do you know what? I said 3-1, so I don't think that's that mental. And yes, Flossie, when I bring out the stats, you know we're in trouble. So everybody please, into the chat with your score predictions for Manchester United versus Tottenham.
4-3 Man United.
4-3? Jesus, Ash. We're not going to have time for a wee. Right. Ash says 4-3. I say 3-1.
You know, that was the score that you guys had in the Carabao Cup last year. It was
I didn't know that.
Spurs were at home and they scored 4 and you scored 3.
Oh, I didn't know that. Genuinely.
It's going to be the opposite way.
The other side. Payback. Streets is saying 4-1. Nathan is saying 3-1 United. Wills is saying 3-0 United. Albo England 2-1 United. Jay 4-1 United. Marv 3-2 United. So he's close to yours. Flossie 3-0 United. Nathan 3-1 United. We've said those, didn't we? I said Albos already.
Yeah.
Oh no, he changed it. He changed it from 2-1 to 3-1. We've influenced him. So it sounds like people think United are going to win by 3 or 4. And there's some nils and some ones. So I'm going to go mental. I would have said 3-1, but let's go mad. We're going 4-1. Now, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. I have concerns about Aston Villa, Ash. And my concerns with Aston Villa are, what was motivating them was that they were still technically kind of in the title race. They were on the same points as City. They were doing well. And I think the fact that they fell off last week might be the start of a downward trajectory.
Potentially. They're only 1 point off Man City.
Yeah, I don't know. Bournemouth, have Bournemouth been good? Let me see. Where's Bournemouth?
They've been okay. They've had a decent run of form.
Oh, well, they've won 3 out of their last 5. They've won 3 out of their last 4. They're on the same points as you, Ash. They're only below you by goal difference.
I wouldn't compare us to anyone right now. We're not that team to compare to.
Fair. Right.
We drew to Wolves.
People have started to get their scores. Oh, sorry, and I missed Cavos. Cavos had also said 1-0 to United, so also went with the United win. Right. People have started with the score predictions for Bournemouth. Albo, is the 5-0 for United or for Bournemouth? I don't know if this is United or Bournemouth, because Albo changed. Oh, no. He said 2-2. The 5-0, I believe, was United. The score was going up and up and up. So, Streets is the start of Bournemouth Villa. 2-2. Marv says 2-1 Villa. And
good evening.
Nathan says 2-1 to Villa. Jay says 3-3. Albo 2-2. Ray says 2-1 to Villa. So Albo is explaining his 2-2. Wills is expecting Villa to do a Forest and start dropping points left, right, and centre. And so therefore he says 1-1 for the Villa mouth. Flossie is saying 2-1 to Villa. I notes is joined just in time for score predictions, and he also says 2-2. So it feels like was there a lot of 2-2s there? There was 3 2-2s and a 3-3, right? So it's going to be a draw, Ash.
It was a 1-1, 3-3. Yeah, I would have said 2-1 to Villa, but yeah.
I probably would have said 2-1 Bournemouth.
Okay. We'll say like a 2-2.
So we'll go
2-2
2-2 because that seems to be the popular vote. Interesting. Now, Arsenal and Sunderland minus Xhaka. I believe Marino's injured. He's going to be out for a little bit. He hurt himself, but I mean, their squad is so big. I actually think this is going to be 3-0, you know.
I was going to say 4-0.
We don't often agree on the Sunderland scores, Ash. That might be a sign. I don't know what kind of sign, but it's going to be a sign.
Yeah, and it's going to be 4 goals, all scored by Sunderland into their own net.
Probably. Because we never agree on the Sunderland score, but I've given up hope on them now. They've let me down. So what?
The West Ham game was so bad though. Like when they got absolutely smashed by West Ham, and then
Really
Granit
bad.
Xhaka is just arguing with the fans.
Embarrassing. That was really embarrassing.
That was.
A good look.
I didn't get why he was doing that.
Me either. Frustration that he couldn't get on the pitch and help. He probably wanted to shout at his teammates and he couldn't get near them. Ray is saying 5-0 to the Arsenal. Ray is an Arsenal fan in case you couldn't tell. Nathan is saying a snooze fest harambol of 2-2. Flossie is saying 4-0 Arsenal. Jay saying 3-0 Arsenal. Albo is saying 3-0 Arsenal. Streets is saying 2-0 Arsenal. Flossie is physically sick at the sight of Sunderland's name. Marv is saying 3-1 Arsenal. I Notes is saying 2-2. And Wills is saying 1-0 Arsenal. What is that score? If in doubt, 1-0 it out.
I mean,
right,
yeah.
so there's some quite big scores in there. There's 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s.
5s.
I reckon if we balance
7-0.
add them all together, 11-1. I think if we balance them all out, probably 3-0 looks to be the one. So I reckon we're going 3-0.
I do think sometimes teams, if they do score like 3, they just give
Take
up.
Foot off, yeah. And then you start, because they're in so many competitions, there's talk of a quad. I think they would start to take players off and rest and the whole lot. I think they take their foot off the gas. Could be 3-0 at half time, and then they just change. Burnley, West Ham.
Jesus Christ.
I think West Ham.
Yeah, I think West Ham's going to win this. But God, that is one of the worst games that I think there's going to be this season. I will say 3-1 to West Ham, though.
Do you know what? I think it might go the other way. It's so boring, they score a heap of goals. Do you know that way? So it could be a 3-2 to West Ham. I just think they might cancel each other out so badly that everybody scores. I don't know, I'm talking myself into wishful thinking here. Right, but we both think West Ham. So let me see. Marv is saying 1-0 West Ham. Nathan's saying 2-1 West Ham. Jay is saying 3-1 West Ham. So West Ham so far. Albo is saying 1-0 Snorefest with West Ham to win. Streets is saying 1-1. I know is saying 2-1 West Ham. Ray says 1-1. Will says flip a coin. Burnley 2-0. Streets is saying those Burnley frauds will scam a draw. I would say primarily there it came in at and Flossie is saying 2-0 West Ham. So West Ham
are going West Ham wins.
The question is, it's probably going to be 1 for Burnley, and then are we going 2 maybe West Ham?
Yeah, sure.
That seems to be. I'm trying to go with what I'm seeing the most of.
Yeah,
yeah. That seems
there's a lot
of
2s.
Yeah, that's what I got. Right, Ash. Fulham Everton.
This game could have goals in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then Albo straight up says 0-0. I think this is actually going to be a really high scoring game. I would say 4-2 to Fulham.
What? Ash, have you lost your mind?
No, I generally think that.
Although the last time I told you to calm down, there was a whole heap of goals, so maybe you're right. I don't know what I think of this. I think, do you know what? 2-1 Fulham is probably what I would do. I reckon. Because Everton are without Jack Grealish still. Fulham have been sort of strongly pottering along there. Streets thinks you've lost your mind. is what I'm taking from that question mark. So we'll go to the chat on this one.
I mean, put it like this way: Fulham has scored more goals than us. Fulham has nearly scored the same goals as Brentford. They're only they've scored nearly the same goals as Aston Villa this season. Like, when you put it in context like that, it's kind of crazy.
Mental. But Albo disagrees and he says 0-0. Street says 3-1 Fulham. So is that it? Nathan says 3-1 Fulham. Jay says a draw. Ray says 1-0 Fulham. Streets is really concerned about your fortune. Marv is saying 2-2. Wills is saying 2-2. We have a few draws there.
Albo's changed from a draw to a 2-1.
Yeah. And then iNotes is saying 2-1 to Fulham. Flossie then comes in with a draw of 1-1. And Albo changed his because Fulham will probably score. So you influenced him. So we've got 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-1, 1-0. We do have some draws, but I think we have more Fulham wins. So I reckon we'll go with a 2-1. That seems to be... I'm trying to balance that. We have 2 3-1s, so... And we've 2 2-1s.
Do 2-1.
Yeah, we'll go with 2-1. Wolves, Chelsea, Ash.
I'm abstaining. I don't want even. I want this to be a Wolves win, but will that happen? I don't know.
It depends how down in the dumps Chelsea are after going out of the cup.
Wolves have just lost 2 games in a row,
which means they're due a win.
I mean, we were saying that on their 20-game lose streak.
We're nice like that.
2-2.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
God. 2-1 to the Wolves, Albo says. I'm honest. Flossie says 3-0 Chelsea, which unfortunately I think is more likely to happen, but I would love a 1-1 or something.
I think 2-2 would be sensational. I probably think Chelsea's going to win as well, but I'm going to go with 2-2 just because I want it to happen. So Streets says 3-1 Chelsea. iNote says 3-1 Chelsea. Albo says Wolves to win. Nathan says Cucurella eats paella. 2-0. I like that. And Wills wants to know Streets' prediction so we can put a wee punt on it because Streets has been sensational when it comes to the United predictions. I think he said 4-1 for United. Ray says 0-0 for this match. Marv really wants Wolves to win. Rosenio masterclass, according to Streets. Albo says, Albo says Wolves win 2-1. Jay hopes for a draw. Marv obviously says 2-2. Flossie saying 3-0 Chelsea. Wills is saying 3-1 Chelsea. Albo says operation more than 11 points. I mean, that's fair. So, Ash, where does that leave us? Because I didn't count very well there. I got distracted.
I actually think there's more on a draw.
Excellent. Draw it is. I don't even care if that's factually correct. And I'm going with 2-2.
I just think everyone's put a draw wanting that.
Yeah. Wishful thinking. I mean, let's face it, we get them wrong anyway, so we might as well put what we want to happen. But Ash, the big one. Newcastle, Brentford. Brentford are a tricky little team at the minute.
I do think we're going to win this, though, because we're at home.
I think so too.
We're at home. Like I said, whether we're at home or away, I have completely 2 different answers. And the fact we're at home, I think we're going to win this like 3-1.
Okay. I think it's probably will win. I would maybe go 3-2. Brentford have been scoring. But we've had two very opposite predictions straight away, because Ray said 3-0 Newcastle and Albo said 3-1 Brentford. Streets then went with a 2-2 draw, so we're off to a good start. Marv says 3-2 Newcastle. Albo says Thiago hat-trick. Wills is saying 2-0 Newcastle. Jay is saying 2-1 Brentford. Blossy is saying 3-1 the mighty Mags. Nathan says, I'm sorry, Ash, you're so lovely, but Brentford 2-1. So it was the very nicest loss prediction I've ever seen. And iNote says 2-2. Ash, what in the name of God, where does that work out?
I just think it's 3-1 to Newcastle. So that must be what it is.
I do think it's Newcastle. Although the draws were giving it a good go there. Right, Newcastle. I'm overruling your 1. I'm putting 2. But I'll let you have 3.
I, for the love of God, hope that doesn't happen, because I will literally be hiding behind my chair, shitting myself.
Well, Ash, what could happen is just could go 2-0 down and stage a comeback.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I mean, we're playing Tottenham. We could make a hames of this. We could have a repeat of the final and they could smash us. I mean, I might as well have a bit of fun with it. Streets is saying Newcastle are the favourites, so he reckons 2-1 to Newcastle or 2-2. But it's too late, man. We'll put in the score. Brighton, Crystal Palace. On this Brighton Crystal Palace, I've closed the tab because I just X'd everything. Mateta failed a double medical for AC Milan. He is now set to have a surgery and be out for 3 to 4 months. That's a bit of a turn up for the books.
I know, that's very weird.
It's just out of nowhere. So obviously they were trying to hide an injury, hoping to sell him off with the injury. Because why would you double medical someone?
Yeah, it said there was a knee injury that came, a discovery of a knee injury.
You're telling me they didn't know about that? So AC Milan discovered it, whether
Sandro Tonali with his booking, with his gambling problems. It's
like but I mean, he wanted to leave. He wanted to be sold. Like, given that, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Frank Lampard. Did we talk about this? That Frank Lampard is linked to being the Glasner replacement for Palace. Palace are not having a good time at all.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, but it's so weird though, because obviously they did sign Strand Larsen, so now they've just ended up with 2 strikers.
That just tells me that Strand Larsen is nuts, because who would go to this team? The turmoil, the players they're losing. I mean, it's a mess. So taking all that into account,
I mean, you say that, but obviously he was at Wolves. There's not really.
I like Wolves better than Palace at the minute. What is going on with them? I reckon Brighton's going to win this because Palace are just in a mess. I reckon 2-0. I'm going early.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people saying Brighton to win, to be honest. I do think Brighton's going to win this. I think it's just going to be like a 1-0.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a great game.
Right. Brighton aren't overexciting. I just think Crystal Palace are so bad. Albo says, Brighton 2, Palace 0. Palace are in free fall. No Mateta, no party. Ray says Brighton 2-0. Street says Brighton 3-1. Marv, oh geez, there is a lot of 2-0s. Brighton 2-0. Nathan says 1-1 or 2-2, so a score draw. Flossie says 2-0 Brighton. Streets just predicted what I was about to say about Mateta. iNotes 3-1 Brighton. Welbeck, brace. Wills is saying 3-1 Brighton. Jay is saying 2-1 Brighton. And iNotes is warning Lampard to stay away. Palace is falling apart. Streets agrees with you, Ash. Larsen to Palace is so weird. So the outcome of that feels like definitely a Brighton win. We have some 3-1s, we have some 2-1s, we have some 2-0s. I reckon 2-0 seems to be the goer there. Tell you what, I don't often fall in line with the chat, but we've agreed on a lot today. But Ash, this one here, I'm going to go before anyone else because I don't want to feel like I'm being influenced. I think Liverpool's going to beat Manchester City 3-1.
Okay.
It's out there now. So you talk us through your reasonable explanation.
I don't think that's unreasonable. I was going to say 2-2.
Okay.
But I could see this going either way, to be honest. I think both teams are going to play expansive open football, as Slot will say, playing good football. I think this is going to come to probably by Liverpool maybe in the arse a bit. And I think it's either going to be a 2-2 or a 3-1 to Man City.
See, I think Liverpool are going to do a United. I think this will be the one game they're going to turn up. I don't think there's any logic. I have no reasonable explanation. I think they're dreadful. I just feel like they're going to do a United. I just think there's some matches teams turn up for. I think the fact that Slot has come out and said what he said, I think the fact that Pep was asked about it and sort of laughed it off, I just think it has the makings. The fact that the title race is all but over. As far as I'm concerned, the title race is over. But I mean, this kills it dead. It'll be deader than dead. It'll be a ghost at this point. It'll be called Casper, never mind the chase. So I reckon Liverpool. But I also don't think you're definitely going to be wrong. It could easily go the other direction. I just hope it's not boring. I hope it's not cagey.
Yeah, it's one that I just think both teams want to play open football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to create a lot of open play goals. And I think it's going to be the difference of the midfield. And I think Cherky has looked amazing. Granted, I will say Wirtz is also coming into form as well. So I think it's going to be the battle. Yeah, I think it's going to be the battle in the midfield, and then see how it goes going forward. Although I will say, if Salah plays, I think Liverpool's going to have an absolute honker because that man has been struggling this season.
I hope they don't start him because honestly, it'll just kill it.
Yeah.
Ray says, and obviously Ray is an Arsenal fan, so he wants City to lose. So he says Liverpool 7-1. Streets is agreeing. He says it is a huge game. Alvo says Liverpool 1, City 4. Internal issues, no confidence. City seem to be back. Nathan says fake United winning it, unfortunately 2-0. Streets says 2-0 Liverpool. Marv is saying 3-2 City. We need Liverpool to drop points. He's very correct. In the top 5 race, actually, it's preferable for us if City wins because we need Liverpool to stay the hell behind us. So that's a very good point. Jay says 4-0 City. I don't even like it. Flossie says 3-1 Liverpool. Will says 4-1 Liverpool. Obviously the Arsenal impact again. Streets has corrected his score because he says, never mind, Liverpool will 100% concede. So 2-1 Liverpool. iNote says a penalty and a red card against City because Pep spoke out. 3-1 Liverpool. That'll be interesting. This is the first match since Rodri said that the referees hate them and they don't want to see City winning anything. That's going to be very interesting. Who is the referee? Let's have a look. That's a great point. I love this. This is why we love the chat.
Rodri's just a donut, though, isn't he?
Craig Pawson. Craig Pawson's the referee for this match, which I find hysterical. This man has an average of 3.71 yellow cards per match. He is unpredictable is what I would say, which I think can be terrifying because you just don't know what's going to happen. I can't see who's on VAR. It'll probably come out at some point tomorrow or the next day, or tomorrow. But Anthony says 4-2 Liverpool. Streets is doubting himself all over the place because he's gone back to Liverpool aren't really clinical though, just Ekatike and sometimes Gakpo. So actually he doesn't know. Streets doesn't know what he wants here. I know
apparently it's
don't let Sam.
Apparently, it's John Brooks on the VAR.
Oh, okay. I don't think he's particularly bad compared to some of them, but
Yeah,
we'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
that could have been worse. I know to saying, don't let Hassam hear that, Ash. Hassam will be after you. The ghost of Hassam. Hassam's not been in the chat today. Maybe he's hiding in case. Flossie is saying City's defence is awful, which is true, but on the other side you have Virgil van Dijk. Albo, we're all bad with these score takes. Don't you apologise. I don't think we've got one right all season. We're all bad. Just enjoy it. Streets says a draw would be good, which to be fair, as a United fan, we just hate them all. Yeah, fair. What else? Yeah, Ray said who's on bar. It's not Michael Oliver. Guehi gonna get some shit Sunday and probably make a mistake. Maybe Ray has decided to make his score more realistic. He's changing it to 7-2. So serious talk.
Do you know what's annoying me so much?
Everybody's changing. Albo's is 2-2. Nobody knows what the score is. Everybody's afraid.
Well, I do think for this game, I think it's like I don't think anyone's going to be right. I feel like this is going to be a game that no one's going to predict. But yeah, Ekitike, that man annoys me on another level. Have you seen his hair? He looks like flipping super noodles.
The blonde, it's terrible.
It looks like super noodles. You know, he went past the Newcastle fans. Because obviously we tried to sign him 2 seasons.
Yes.
And he was just taking the piss out of the fans while he was walking past after obviously they scored and we're winning.
No, I don't like that. No fun. Right, Ash, score count. Because everybody's kept changing their minds, so I don't know what the final count is.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Do you know? I think you just choose a score. Actually, I think there was more Liverpool wins.
I felt like there was more Liverpool wins.
Yeah, there's more Liverpool wins.
I think so. I thought that, and then I didn't want to influence you, right? So I did think that. So I think a lot of that is the Arsenal fans are willing things into existence. But
I mean, it is that Anfield. They're picking up a little bit of form.
Well, do you know what? Flossie agrees with my score. So I reckon that's what we go with. That's it. Right. Are you ready to calculate?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Right. Let's go. Oh, we're still up there.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what the best thing about this is?
Yeah.
We're back to being above Sunderland. That's all that matters.
Ash's favourite. It would leave it at 8 points. It would bring Aston Villa back to the same points as City. It would also leave 8 points. I just think it's done. I think it's done. I think it's been done for a few weeks.
Yeah, if that happens, it is done. Right now, there's 6 points in it, so there's a chance. But if it extends, Arsenal have got
Sunderland. Yeah. So honestly, that's
I don't think. Yeah.
And who do Villa have? So Villa might beat Bournemouth. I don't think so, but they might. But even at that, you really need City. To be fair, if City win, it keeps Liverpool behind United further and it gets City closer to Arsenal. I'll be honest, I just think it's Arsenal's. If Arsenal mess this up, honestly, I will go and sack Arteta myself because it would be appalling. It would leave Spurs in the position that United finished in last year. And it would leave Wolves still on.
Hey, at least, I mean, Spurs have improved from their finish last season.
Do you know what it does, though, Ash?
Being 17.
Just see here, right? So if this happens, West Ham would be on 23 points. Forest would only be 3 points above. And sure, we already know that the Forest score is right.
I did say West Ham are going to be coming out of the relegation. I've been saying this for a fact. Crystal Palace. Palace have fallen into the bin from what's happened. Like what they have done, they have literally folded like a deck chair. They've just got no idea what's going on. Manager wants out, players want out. It's absolutely horrific what's going on there. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow ended up getting relegated, which would be absolutely crazy if that happened.
Well,
oh my god! Imagine if Strand Larsen goes from Wolves to Crystal Palace and then gets relegated
anyway. That would be terrible.
I think I would generally piss myself.
That would be insanity. And to be fair, and I'm going to be fair to Kate here, I'm giving Kate a shout out because, right, West Ham is 23, Palace and Spurs are on 29.
No, yeah, it's a fair bit.
That means they are closer to relegation than City is to Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? If you look at it like that, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. I don't think Spurs will be relegated, but I don't think it's crazy to say it. Do you know what I mean? Be worried about it.
I mean, of course. Like, it's 3-1, by the way.
Oh, 3-1.
Told you the 4-3 comeback.
It's happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out of the possibility that it couldn't happen. Like, at the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, if you told us that we were going to go relegated in previous years, I wouldn't have believed that. Like, when we were challenging and stuff like that in the 90s to 15 years later getting relegated into the championship, it can happen and does happen. No one's entitled to be at the top of the Premier League or anything. You have to earn it. So do I think it will happen? No. But it's not out of the realms of possibility.
No, 100%. 100% no. But I agree with you. If Strand Larsen gets relegated after moving from a team that would be
so funny. Yeah. That would actually be the funniest thing ever. Like that man, I actually feel so sorry for, because he basically guaranteed had his move to Newcastle for that to then all be cancelled out. Came off like at the end. Wolves like decided not to. Gets to January, he then moves to Crystal Palace, and then Mateta somehow doesn't get moved, and then imagine this: then Strand Larsen becomes the second striker behind Mateta, and then he's on the bench watching and gets relegated, and then the manager goes, and then half the team goes, and then he's just sat there on his ones.
But it makes you wonder, what was his agent thinking letting him make that move? His agent's for sacking. Honestly, his agent's for sacking.
I think, he was just thinking about money, wasn't he?
Probably. I mean, most of them are. I reckon that's us. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes into the show, people. It is 10 to 10 at night. It's time for us to get ourselves off to our beddy boys. Thank you all very, very much for joining us. Please smash a like if you haven't done so already. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. We had an absolutely fantastic stream. I absolutely love that. Do go and check Ash out, Ash NUFC. He is tagged in the title of the video. Get over, get subscribed, enjoy your evening, and enjoy a fantastic weekend of football that we are all looking to. Thanks very